How's it going, people? Sky here again with another Nikke video, and as usual, kind of like the previous one, hey, it's Union Raid again, and as usual I actually made an update. It's the same Excel spreadsheet, except I made a different section now for Union Raid number 2 at February 23, and so now here we are. And yeah, I made a few updates here as usual. I just added a few of the new units that just recently came out, and then also updated some of the comps as I find more things. And yeah, you know it, I know it. Here is what we are after. And now let's talk about boss 1. And so for boss 1, basically Thermite. And for Thermite, basically this is just a pretty simple boss, and Thermite doesn't really have any other crazy mechanics or anything like that. It's just basically a boss fight where you're just dealing on core damage. As you know, when there is only just core, you use a focus target team, or basically assault rifle, machine gun, sniper rifle. Those are pretty good units to use. In any case, there was also a video about this, and Dreamy made the video a long time ago, months ago, on the EX stage, but this is more just kind of talking about the different boss patterns that it has, and so maybe that might help you if you want to check out the different boss patterns that it has. As you know, there's always going to be any sort of difference in that, minor difference, but for the most part the boss is pretty much the same. Once you reach higher levels, there's eventually gonna be some boss pattern where it pretty much just one-shots your unit at around 1 minute marker and 30-second marker. And since it's just happening at like the last minute and 30 seconds, maybe it's not so much necessary to build the team around like reviving or your unit or anything like that. But pretty much this boss is pretty straightforward. Just use the team that you could really use. Any DPS really works. That's the way I see it, but probably the most efficient one would be the focus target team. And sometimes I do see some people use their shotgun team because they don't really have anything else to use. It is what it is. Anyways, number 2, Loudmouth. This boss is pretty annoying because basically every minute there is a one-shot mechanic that the boss does at the 2-minute marker, and then also the 1-minute marker, where it basically just kills the unit. Since the boss does it every minute, you could probably get away with using like Rapunzel. One other thing is you could use Miracle Fairy Anne, and maybe you could kind of work around with Miracle Fairy Anne and take advantage of her huge attack buff. Miracle Fairy Anne can only revive once, so just keep that in mind. And so after the 2nd minute, you won't be able to revive anyone. And third one is Blacksmith. You have played Blacksmith a lot of times probably when doing special interception, but in case you haven't, well, there are other videos out there how to do it. But obviously this Blacksmith is a little bit different. There is something that is kind of like a time mechanic where basically around every 35 to 45 seconds he either does this tentacle stun or a pretty much a one-shot mechanic. So he jumps back if he does the tentacle mechanic, and which is what you probably would want. Otherwise, if you get unlucky, he does this pretty much one-shot mechanic where he feels like he's charging some energy ball, Dragon Ball Z style, and then he will pretty much just one-shot one unit that you have. Now it is not an instant one-shot, it is just a very high DPS, so actually you could use Noah or Makima to kind of survive that, or otherwise you could use Rapunzel or Miracle Fairy Anne to just keep yourself alive after that. Now basically there are so many different teams that you could use with Blacksmith, and this guide has kind of a few of the examples that I have seen and tried as well. But the general gist of it from what I see is if you want to have like either like a very high DPS, then you could keep resetting so that you will always get the tentacle stun pattern, or you could bring a reviver or an immunity so that you can consistently do your run. Either or, it's up to you how you want to do it for your guild. And after that, at around 1:30, he will do another mechanic which does the AoE wipe thing, but usually for the most part, the way I notice it, it seems like you are just able to take cover it and you will do just fine. Like that. But if you're running a no healer comp, that's something to watch out for. Then now moving on to Plate. Plate is a very interesting boss fight. It only has a core that, so naturally Scarlet, Modernia, or focus target users are pretty good at this. And around after the first minute after the battle has started, he will start opening these shield. And the good way to destroy that shield is either to have a fast unit that does multi-hits, and you could use that with either assault rifle, machine gun, or shotgun. Those are good units to destroy the shield pretty fast. Alternatively, you can use a pierce team which goes through the boss shield and you can continuously damage them. Alice and Haran or Maxwell are pretty good units against that. But in any case, otherwise this boss is pretty straightforward. After around 1 minute, he will start throwing bombs. But otherwise, this boss is a pretty straightforward boss fight, and you just try to work around the shield. And next one is Modernia. You know it, I know it, I'm tired of it, you are tired of it. This time around, it's a little bit easier but also harder at the same time. Basically now the boss is in a timed mode, so at the first phase she will last for the first minute, and once you manage to core break her, and after minute 2 she will start doing the teleporting around and you know that annoying second phase. And roughly around after a minute of that, she will start doing a sword phase. As you know it, this is her third phase. Fun stuff, fun stuff. But yeah, as usual, I will constantly update this guide sheet. As usual, it's the same link, but I will link this down below. And another thing that I could link to you is I have something that I do for my guild where I keep track of who has hit before. So for those tryhard guilds that are probably trying to figure out who has hit and not hit, this is something that was shared for my guild, and maybe you guys could find something useful for this. But yeah, that's it. Thank you all for watching. Try to make it quick, but I wanted to make this video a lot earlier, but I got really sidetracked and I was streaming a lot, and I'm now just coming off from streaming. I'm pretty tired, but yeah, will see you guys next time. I will be live at twitch.tv/KyleJLV, and I will see you there soon. Peace.